Okay, so this is my grandfather, Ralph Davis. He was born April 3rd, 1931. Gotta tell you all your information. In Melbourne, Florida. Not Melbourne. Gam says Melbourne. Okay. He has experienced things that, a lot of us may not know about. And he always speaks to my family about his stories, and now he's going to share it with us. So, here is Ralph Davis. Okay, you can sit.
Okay, how y'all doing? All right. Malia has me here, otherwise I wouldn't be here. I'm from Florida as a kid, and my kids, they always asking me questions of where you was born, what happened, how was things in that era. So I'm from Florida, and I'll say a few things before then you guys can ask me any question you want to ask me. As a kid in Florida, things was quite different than the way you guys have it here now. I went to a school, it was all black, prejudice, and as a kid, the books I used in school came from the white kids' school, which means if there's a bad white kid, he has a habit of tearing pages out of the book. Those are the books that we had in school. And I stayed there, and then after that, during a certain time of the year, they picked up white potatoes. You know what white potatoes are, right? White potatoes? Nobody know what a white potato is?
Yes, anybody knows? There's a red potato.
Potatoes, white potatoes, French fries. Now you know what they are. Jeez. But as a kid in Florida, we used to pick those up. Now in the black schools, they would take the kids out of school and they would go into the fields to pick up those potatoes during that particular time, during that season, which means I was lacking in my studies. So I did that until my father passed, and then my mother decided to move to New York. It was 6 of us, my 4 sisters and my brother. So we moved to New York, and I went to school in the Bronx. And when I went there, I was in this 8th grade. They put me back to the 6th grade. I was 2 years behind in my studies from being lack of schooling. So at that time, I told my mother I was going to quit school because I was the oldest kid in the class. So I didn't feel comfortable. So she insisted I should finish school, from which I did. I made up those 2 years, and I graduated on time. That was in New York. So the main thing I was saying, the reason I said that is schooling is very important. You know, you have to take it very serious. That's my beginning. There's a lot more things in my beginning that was real bad. But as you ask me questions, I can explain some of the things to you. All right? Someone here?
Okay. Well, you can put your one. This time, if anyone would like to ask Mr. Davis a question. Louder.
Were you part of any protests during the civil rights movement? If so, what did you do? If not, how did you feel about the protesters?
No, I wasn't a part of any of that. I was in New York at that time, but I wasn't a part of it, you know. And protesting was a good idea because things has been quite bad for us, for the black race. So that was very important, you know.
Machaya.
What are your thoughts on some of the recent accusations of police brutality?
What was that?
Oh, what are your thoughts on some of the recent accusations of police brutality on black girls in the media?
Was it police brutality?
Yeah.
Oh. Uh, my thought on that is, when I came out of the Army, I went down to be a policeman. I took training to be a policeman. And we was taught, as the cops of today, they shoot first. They don't ask no question, they kill you first. But we was taught, when you shot a person, try to wound him, shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the arm. Don't kill him. But the cops today, they overreact. And that's my thought on that, you know. Yeah. As a matter of fact, my reason I didn't become a policeman was, at that time, my wife and my mother, they was praying, I hope you fail, I hope you fail, I hope you, and I failed. But I had wanted to be a cop when I came out of the service, you know. Okay.
I know, I think 6 years was pretty hard for actors and home politics. How did you feel like when President Obama became president, like as the first black president?
I felt great. I never thought I would see it in my lifetime, you know. The way, huh?
I'm sure that was like a dream too, like at the time, like in the 60s.
Well, when he was elected president, I thought that was great. You know, it was, yeah. No, I thought when Obama became president, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. You know, I never thought that would happen. Considering where I came from, never believed it would happen. You know, yeah.
What is your opinion on using the N-word among today's young?
Now, you just stepped on my toe. I don't like it one bit. Now, as a kid in Florida, I have gotten chased home many a time by white kids calling me that name. And I couldn't retaliate because they would punish me. You know, I had to run for my life. And I never liked it. I don't like it today. I don't like to see black kids saying it. I hate it. And as for me, I'll tell you up front, I'm very strict and I take no mess. And you have to respect me. Nobody calls me an N-word, and I call nobody an N-word. I don't like it. Point blank. Yeah.
You said when they used to make you like pick the potatoes, it was very prejudiced, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of like stuff did you experience?
Prejudice? The whole South was prejudiced.
No, I know, but like you know, like
What kind of experience?
Your experience.
your experience.
My experience?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, well, back then, we call them 5 and 10 cent stores. We couldn't eat at the counters. You couldn't go in a restaurant. You had to go around to the back door. And as a matter of fact, in Florida, the theater, the steps was on the outside of the building for the black to go up the steps into the theater. We couldn't sit downstairs. And another thing, since you're on that issue, when I was in the service, I was doing the Korean War. I was having training in St. Petersburg, Virginia. I went to Richmond, me and other guys hanging out. We got ready to go back to the base. We got on the bus. We sat in the front seat. And the driver said, "You boys go to the back of the bus." Now, we in uniform. So I had been in New York for a while, so I had a little savvy. I said, I'm not moving. He got the police, put us on the back seat of the bus. Now, some of those same guys with my friends went to Korea, died in Korea. For what? You know? Those are the issues, you know. And plus also, when I went to Germany, at that time, during the Second World War, you had two armies. You had a black army and a white army. And at that time in 1951, They was breaking up those outfits. Then it became one army. So that's all that was segregation.
When you were in the Korean War, did you find that the soldiers treated everyone the same, or did you find that there was segregation within the barracks?
Well, in my barrack, I didn't have segregation. 'Cause a lot of guys in my barrack was from New York and different parts of the country. So I wasn't in an outfit that was all black. But when I went to Germany, there was dismantling it, you know. So I had no problems, you know. And a lot of things that helped me out, I had moved to New York, and I got street smart. So I didn't bother you, you didn't bother me, you know. Yeah.
Was it hard for you growing up to start talking to white people now?
No, that's a funny thing. If you grew up as a kid and there's all white kids and they pushing you down, you think it's the norm, you know. So they call you names and you do this and that, but you learn as you grow. And with me, with me, I'm a people person. Now, as a kid, seeing those issues, I was quite bitter. You know, if you hit me, I'm gonna hit back. But if they caught me, they would beat me. You know, but as I came to New York, I began to learn people, and I judge each person for themselves. You know, I don't care what you are. I judge you for yourself. Because we got bad black folks, we got bad white folks. So if you treat me right, I treat you right. And that's the way it is with me. I guess Malia told you, in my family is quite mixed up. Puerto Ricans, white, black, everything. This is my oldest son right here. When he got married, he came home with his white wife, white girlfriend at the time. So my wife say, "What is this?" But the way I felt was, the way I felt, I love people, and I judge you for yourself. Now, Malia, they're going to laugh at me. You're going to laugh at me also. I told my boys, I said, I don't care who you marry. She can be green, red, black, blue. I don't care. Now, this part, I said, don't bring no guy home. Things have changed since then, but I couldn't go that way. So, I'll tell you like it is.
I know this is kind of like a comment, but like back then, like when you were like a little kid, did you ever have like any white friends who wanted to treat you right? Like, did you ever have like any white people who treated you right like that kind of? Like, were they like against segregation?
Like white friends?
Yeah.
I had a lot of white friends.
And they accepted who you were and everything.
Accepted who you were at the time?
Yeah. But the thing about it, in the South, a lot of time, it wasn't all of the kids, it was the parents.
Oh, yeah.
You know? We get along fine, but it's the parents. You know? The parents would teach them all that bigotry and everything, you know? But I had no problems. Yeah.
Like I want to ask, are there like any like civil rights activists that you like admire the most, like Martin Luther King?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot.
Which one do you like admire the most and why?
I like a lot. Martin Luther King, and then in the sport figure, I find a lot of lot of black kids don't really even know a lot of our history, like Jackie Robinson and Joe Lewis, and those are they were role models. That meant a lot to us at the time. And with Martin Luther King, he had to make a stand. 'Cause, he had the Freedom Riders. Back then they had the boycott on the stores. And I think it was Alabama had the bus. Before we couldn't ride on the bus, so everybody boycotted the bus. And there was a reason for that, So.
I don't know that a lot of the students are familiar with Joe Louis.
With Joe Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a boxer. He was, who can I say? I think he was better than, Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay. Well, he was before his time,
Can you tell them why you don't like Malcolm X as much?
Well, Malcolm X is good, but he was like, he was more violent. And Martin Luther King was nonviolent. But Malcolm X, he was an eye for an eye, an eye for an eye. Yes.
I think that for a lot of people of our generation, movies have become a way that we view the civil rights movement and kind of the fight that African Americans have gone through.
Yeah,
So I was wondering if you've seen films like Selma or other films like The Freedom Riders, and how you feel they depict that era of American history, if it's justified in how they depict it, or if it's wrong historically.
I see him, but I don't like him. It brings back memories, A lot of people died for nothing,
Well, can I ask a question on the same, because I had a similar question. But I was just about to ask, do you think like the movies, because this generation is we're all social media.
Yes.
And movies have a way of like showing us like what's going on and giving us that like possible point of view and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that like the movies that they make back then, because obviously you have more experience than us, like in this generation, because most of us haven't been like exposed to slavery, but probably you have exposed to a lot of racism and stuff like that. 'Cause that was back then. But do you think like movies now like give a good like a view of what happened back then, so this younger generation can like see what's going on, and they can like have like an idea of like how slave was treated back then. Do you think in that scenario gives like a good feeling? Are they reading and stuff?
Not slavery.
Well, no,
Yeah, like,
they do pretty good. Some of it I still don't like. It's it really wasn't like what it really was. Because thing was bad. So now they done sort of sugarcoated a little bit. But yeah. Yes.
Did you attend a racial segregated school?
Huh?
Did you attend a segregated school when you were a kid?
It was all black.
All black.
All black.
You never attended
Have you ever attended school with like
Hmm?
Have you ever attended school where it's not
No, when I came to New York, I went to school. It was white. Huh?
You attended integrated schools in New York.
Yeah, but not in Florida.
Oh, okay. Well, in New York, was it like integrated schools? Did you have like bad experiences, or was it getting better at the time?
In New York? No,
Not at all.
I had no bad experience.
Oh, okay.
Only bad experience I had when I came to New York, they used to call me country. They say you talk funny, you act funny. 'Cause I'm from the South. I said bad words, throw the ball, down yonder, and they laughed at me, And also, New York, they would rob you. They come by and they pat you down and say, "Oh, I'm fine." And I was, how can I say, green. Got any money? I said, yeah, I got $5. I didn't know I was green. They took it. Another issue was I had a little part-time job making deliveries and a bunch of guys jumped me and beat me up. That was the last time. I wasn't green no more. That was the last time.
Did you ever like, when things got bad, did you ever like fight back? Did you ever like rebel?
What?
Did you ever fight back?
Or rebel?
Fought back? Yeah. No, I mean, she didn't bother me. I didn't bother you. I would fight, yeah. My brother, he was a fighter. He would fight. I try not to fight if I had to, but we, we had a word back then. I don't know if you have it now. Call you a punk. Yeah. Yeah. No. You have to. You got to be a man. Period. Nobody walk over you. No. Even to this day, I'll do anything for you, but you're not going to walk over me. You know? Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think you would have been different if you would have stayed in the South?
I think I was. I would have been different because I go back and a lot of my friends that stayed there, they didn't mature properly. A lot of them didn't finish school. A lot of them worked hard, and they just. I tell you one thing. I thank my mother. My mother was the savior of our family. After my father died, she was the spark of the family. That was the best thing that could have happened to me by coming north. Now, I go back to Florida all the time. Just I take her just to see the memories and how things have changed. But I got a little picture here. You can just look at it. You can see the field that I used to work in.
Potato farm he used to work in.
Is that a Southern newspaper?
Yeah, it's from Florida.
I went to Florida 2 years ago, and before I went there, they had just had a survey. Black families stake claim to pieces of Flagler County. They were checking out how black families were in that area, but I missed it by 1 year, because if I'd have been there when they did the documentary, I could have had an input on this, because that was in my era, you know. Sure, to over there, so you can see that part right. That's from. Go that way. Okay. That was from.
Yeah.
That came from the News Journal in Florida, in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay. We see a picture on the bottom of your father who drove.
Huh?
I just told them. I told her.
Yeah, that was my father at that time. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the family with him?
Huh?
Who's the family with him? Do you know?
Oh, that's not my family.
No, who they were asking who's the family with
Those
him?
just people.
There's just people. Oh, yeah.
Just people.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. But you know, I get a kick out of this. Now this picture here, that's Daytona Beach. All the luxury. We wasn't allowed to go over there as a kid. You heard of Daytona Beach, Florida, the ocean. All this was for the white. We was down in the back in some little corner someplace. But I can thank the Lord today. I have timeshare in Daytona Beach. I can stay anywhere I want to stay.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you think about like affirmative action, like allowing like minority groups to like get a chance? Because we've been at like the flags and like some minority race have been like held back like
Yeah.
so now they get a chance for affirmative action to allow them to like basically get on like a level of balance everything out and like work and college admission and all that stuff.
Now, that mean that this is my opinion. I have a two-part to that. I believe if you qualify, you get the job. I don't care if you're black, white, or green, you get the job. And the reason I said that, open that up for me. If you don't qualify for the job, I don't think you should get it. Now, they try to help us in a lot of areas. In a lot of areas, you have to apply yourself to the job. Otherwise, why? You know, if I deserve that job, I look for that job. Years ago, my wife went to the phone company. They hired her. They heard her voice. She went to the place for the job. No job, because she saw the face. I have a friend worked for the Citibank, a manager in the bank for years. He took care of your account, your account, your account for years. All of a sudden, you go to the bank, you want to see, can I see Mr. Bolden? And they show him a little black guy over there in the corner. The guy cancels his account. Why? A face. Not his work, a face. And that's still standing today. Okay. This card I have right here is, he's like a son to me. He was raised with my sons. He grew up. He went to Columbia University. He left there, he graduated from Harvard University, and he kept on. And today he went to Washington to meet with the president. Next week I'm going to Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut. He's being robed a United States judge, district judge. But he made it, a young man, district judge. So you can make it, but it has to be in you, you know?
Jack has a question.
Yes.
What role, if any, has religion played in the development of racial
Huh?
views in relation to
What did you say?
Hold on. What question is that? Can you speak up?
what role, if any, has religion played in the development of racial views in relation to the United States?
What role, if any, religion played? Well, religion to me is very important. A lot of people, like I saw on TV last night, a lot of atheists, but I'm religious, and I believe in it. And it plays a very big role in the family, you know. You got to have some values. You got to start somewhere. And there's no place better than religious. You know, some people might fight me on that, but I believe in it.
Did you find when you were in Florida that the churches were segregated? And is that the same as when you moved to the Bronx?
The churches in Florida were segregated. Yeah.
Or was it like that?
Not to New York. No.
And how did that feel when you went to a church that was integrated? Did that
Well,
experience?
Yeah. It didn't bother me after I came up here. It didn't bother me. Because like I said before, I accept you for yourself, you know. And once you get past that, accepting a person, you can make it, you know. So.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Based on like your experience and stuff, and like when you was growing up,
Mhm.
like racial in like that time, and we have come so far, like we're allowed to, black people are allowed to do a lot of stuff now in other minority races. Do you think we're gonna it's gonna get better than this in the future?
I think we're going backwards in a lot of areas. I really think we're going backwards. Yep. Yep. You know, your forefather, they fought for a lot. And a lot of these kids, I don't know where they headed, where they going. They off the chart. So I don't know. But you can make, yeah.
Were you going to say anything?
No, I see, yeah. Bad,
Kind of bad.
bad, bad.
Your idea of something is, going backward in time, do you think that has to do with the government really and the
Not necessarily government, but
minorities'
there's
disrespect?
you can see the paper every day. It's always something, somebody getting killed. It's just chaos out there. It's crazy.
Do you think it's more of an internal problem in the community or a problem with how the community is treated in an external way by the rest of the country?
I'm a strong believer of the family. I love the family. When that baby is that small, you got to start putting values in that baby as it grow, and all that's it gonna stay in you. You might lose some of it, but the majority of it gonna stay in you. Sometimes you go away from it, but you'll come back. But a lot of these kids, they have no guideline. The parents don't have a guideline. You know, so that's to me that's one of the main problems is the family. You gotta get back to the family. Your parents, well, some parents they don't know. Some parents need parenting. So it's a bad situation. You know, it's bad for you guys. You going into a whole new world. It's bad, but you can make it. It's up to you. You know.
I think Jason has another follow-up.
Jay?
Yeah, I was thinking out of word this question, but I think probably you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, what other racial group you think that is targeted as much as like the black race? What other racial group, ethnicity you think like is targeted as much as like?
In this city, they target the Koreans, they target the Spanish, they target the Mexican, they target all of them. You know. But you can make it. You know. You can see it. You see it every day. You see it every day. It's out there. It's black and white. You know. Yeah. But then you got to get back to the individual yourself. You know. What you want to make out of your life. You know. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know this is really going back, but do you remember any stories about like your grandfather, father,
Thinking of
racial
Hmm?
separation back then?
your
What?
father or grandfather or your.
Do I remember them?
Do you remember any like did they tell you stories about racism and segregation?
No, my mother told me about a lot of things about segregation because my mother was from Georgia. What's this town? There's a town called Waycross, Georgia, and they used to hang black folks there all the time. In Georgia. Yep. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Did your mom ever tell you stories about those days?
Yeah.
About what you saw?
Yeah. In Georgia. Yeah. You know, I was in the, I came from New York one year, going to Florida. And actually, I'm not from Daytona. I'm from a little town outside of Daytona. And the bus don't usually stop there. So I was on this bus. So I asked the guy, would he stop in my hometown? He said, okay, boy. He had me. Oh, that's another thing. We sat on the back seat of the bus. They gave us the back seat and 2 seats forward. Those are the only seats that we had to sit. On the train, they gave you 2 cars. On the train goes from New York to Florida. You had 2 cars on that train. Back then, they had locomotive engines. The first 2 cars was for the black. The cook. No, where they served the food on the.
Serve food?
Yeah, we wasn't allowed in there. That was out of the question. That was out of the question.
The meal card?
The meal, yeah, we wasn't allowed in there at all. You
They
know,
wouldn't serve you?
nope, we didn't serve you. It was a lot. We came a long way, and sometimes I'm amazed at myself how I remember how things were, but I can see it like today. Like I said, on the bus I was riding, the guy stopped at a railroad cross. I showed it to my wife. At the railroad crossing right here, he opened that door. He said, boy, you can get out right here, and you walk 2 miles into town because I'm not stopping. And these things you don't forget, you know. You know.
Remember about how old you were?
I was 13. But I went back every so often. I went back home because I had family down there, you know. So, but it's a lot.
Some black interracial students in my class report being last week's stories or
What number is that?
targeted by the police. Have you ever been discriminated against in this way?
What number is
So
that?
how did you react?
Talking about like their experiences being stopped when driving or
She was gonna read it.
followed in cars in stores.
Like, have you ever been targeted by anyone?
Oh, you mean, let's see which way. Oh, you mean in the store being
Pulled over by
targeted?
police.
Oh.
Anywhere.
Oh, that's, you know, all you do is close your eyes. You open your eye, somebody's in the corner watching you. Somebody watching. You ignore them, you know, unless he cross my path. I just ignore him.
And as a driver?
As a driver?
Yeah.
Being pulled over by police.
Or maybe any, like, racial slurs from
Well,
other
the
cars.
Well, no, cops just, they pull you over, you know, for nothing, just to check you out, you know.
You can speak to that.
But, yeah, but when they pull you over, you can't jump bad with them. Just talk nice to them and you'll save your life, you know. But the main thing is try to do the right thing, you know. Because, you know, even in New York, there's a lot of racing in New York. They sort of, it's hidden a little bit, but it's here, you know. But, like I say, be your own man. That's all.
Period's gonna end soon, so you might hear the bell, right?
Huh?
Period's gonna end soon, so you might
Okay.
hear the bell ring.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Cool.
Racism is still bad as today, too.
Race is bad, but it's like undercover, like, you know. But see, when you're in the South, it's blank. He said, you it, that's it. No covering up. But I tell you right now, in the South right now, it's just like New York. To me, there's no difference now. But years ago, there was a difference, you know. When I was in the service, I was traveling from New York, from Virginia to New York. Yeah, and we stopped in a restaurant to have lunch. I was 5 white guys. They wouldn't serve me. I wasn't nursing this from the service. They would not serve me. And I had forgot about it because I had lived in New York for a while, and I went back to the South. It shocked me. I was surprised, you know.
Mr. Davis, we wanted to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
As your time is up.
Thank you very much.